So when I'm away from home on work, one of my favorite things to do is check out the local comic scene. Stay tuned to see what I picked up. Hey YouTube, it's Matt here. And like I said in the introduction, I got to see a couple new comic book shops today because I'm a little far away from home on work. And it is a Wednesday and I wanted to go see the local comic scene. I got to see a couple really cool comic shops today. And I'm going to shout them out because I thought that they did me a really great service. And I really appreciated the people that I got to talk to there. One of them is Phantom of the Attic in Green Tree, Pennsylvania, who is the owner is a guy named Ron. Now, Ron happens to know one of our subscribers here, a guy by the name of Solly2 Kings, who has a great YouTube channel, Black Character Comics, okay? Great YouTube channel, guys. Give this a watch. The link will be down in the description. But it is by far one of the most well-done channels that you will see. And me being a history teacher in one of my jobs, I love to see how he puts history in with the comic book characters. It makes for a great viewing experience. Another shop that I can get to is a shop named Heroes Inc. And it is a great shop also. Great store workers there. They always like to have conversations and they like to chit-chat about comics. But all right, to no further ado, let's get to these comics. Now, whenever I go to these shops, I like to make sure that I protect them. And no, this isn't a commercial, but this is a Comics to Go box from the Reggie Collects YouTube channel. And guys, like I said, it's not a commercial, but these are really cool. You can put comic books in them. It protects them from getting damaged. And you can go find these on reggiecollects.com. I'm not talking about it to sell these, to pitch these, but what I'm saying is whenever I walk into a comic book store and I have this box and I pull it out and I already have bags and boards already put in there, already taped up to where I can just slide the new books in there, it always starts a conversation. And one of the customers today, and I so wish I knew his name, he's seen these on YouTube before, and he was asking me all about these. He says he's going to go buy one. So this in itself is a little conversation piece and it protects my books. So I love to take that into comic book shops. But the first book that I got today, it's a reprint, but this is a reprint of Invincibles #1. I think this was the new comic book day version, which usually those books are free. This one wasn't, but this is pretty cool. It's got a foil cover on it. Some people like foil. I remember that 90s and the comic book crash. I don't know, I see foil and I'm like, oh no, not again. It's not the same market as it was in the 90s. I don't see that happening again. I mean, anything's possible, but I just I get the heebie-jeebies when I see foil. But this, without a doubt, is a cool cover, okay? Another cool book I picked up was The Amazing Spider-Man and the Curse of Man-Thing. Man-Thing is a cool character. I like that. I like Swamp Thing as well because honestly, they were written originally back in 1974. They were written in literally the same room. The guy who created Swamp Thing, the guy who created Man-Thing, they were roommates. And one book came out before the other by 1 month. So you can't tell me that the creators didn't have a discussion about their creations. But it was a little bit of Marvel versus DC type of deal. But they're both really cool characters. They're a little bit different, especially the way they've been written since, but definitely they have a similarity to them. Now, this is a book that I know that I already own, but I pick them up whenever I see them. This is a True Believers, Conan the Barbarian #1. You can't beat this cover for $1. And I'm really stoked because I got a really great artist working on a commission of this book. And I'm super stoked to see it. And if you guys have never seen Frawgboy's paintings and his recreations, check him out. He has a great Instagram channel. Again, there will be a link down in the description. There'll also be a link in the description about Phantom Comics and Heroes Inc. comics. But yes, Frawgboy, he does great art, and I'm super stoked for him to get started on that. And he's backed up right now, but the guy, he's backed up because he does a really good job. And I can appreciate that, because whenever somebody is busy at their job, that means they're good at it and people appreciate it. I'm definitely one of those people that appreciate it. That being said, I'm really excited for it to happen. So this, I'll be honest, I don't know what this is, but I'm a Conan the Barbarian fan, and somehow this is Bab Alien, okay? It might be a good one, might not be, but hey, it was worth picking up. Just a new title. This is a #1. This is another one. I just love the artwork on Spawn comic books. Yeah, I've been collecting Spawn for years and years. I have a full run of the original issue. And honestly, I have most of the other issues too. But seriously, the artwork on Spawn is one of those things that, to me, separates it from many other different comic books. Now, this is a series. Honestly, this is on my pull list. This will be waiting for me at home whenever I get there. The problem is, I wanted to read it and didn't want to have to wait until I got home. So, Gung Ho Sexy Beast #2, Gung Ho Sexy Beast #3, and I got the 4th one right here. Now, I read these. Now, guys, this is a series. It's a very well-written series. It's exciting to read. It is not for children. Now, this is a variant cover to Darth Vader #6. I've actually been looking for this book right here, but I couldn't find it in a good enough price. I found it for cover price today, so, well, no, I think it was a little bit more in cover price, but just a little bit more. So, a lot less than what it's going for on eBay. Great book there. Star Wars, all the Star Wars Marvel comics are doing exceptionally well. And I did a video a month or two ago about War of the Bounty Hunters and how this is coming out. This is an exceptionally good read. This is a story about Boba Fett and how he gets Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. And there's a whole backstory there that was created that no one ever knew about. We just assumed Boba Fett flew straight to Tatooine. That's a mouthful whenever you're saying a lot of words. Tatooine, and handed over Han Solo to Boba Fett. But there's a whole backstory to it. It's really cool. So far, the first issue was fire and dynamite, and I really loved it. And this is the director's cut, so I'm really glad to pick that book up. Now, I am a marathon comic book collector, and I talk about that. And there are sprint collectors too. But you know what? Some days I like to sprint too, and it helps me run that marathon. So I ended up picking up a few copies of this book. This is Batman #108, and it has Miracle Molly on the cover. This is the B cover, the cardstock cover. And not only did I pick up one, I picked up two. And honestly, I just think it's a cool cover. A lot of these DC covers are doing, fabulous job. The artists are great. And this is the 3rd cover of this book. Have not had a chance to read this yet, but I'm kind of excited too. This is the A cover to Batman 108. And this in its own right is a nice cover. Bam! Here is 2 covers of it. Now, there's another series, and guys, I've been reading this from the get-go, but unfortunately, I wasn't buying this series that I'm going to show you about. I read my books digitally, and I do buy floppies. My gosh, I have a lot of floppies coming in, but I like to read my books digitally, and there's a couple reasons I do that. 1, for preservation of the books, and 2, sometimes I can read a series, find out if I like it, before I actually spend money to buy the floppies. Well, this series, I have enjoyed it from book 1. I don't think I put on my pull list until about issue 10 or 11, maybe 9. But this is Something is Killing the Children. Now, this is #1, but this is the 8th printing. But this is such a fire cover. I love seeing this. Erica Slaughter on the cover with a chainsaw. You can't beat that. And I liked it so much that, hey, I figured I'm going to pick up 2 of these copies because, hey, they were there and I was going to pick them up. I was kind of surprised that they were there because that book actually came out last week, and that is a hot book. So whenever I saw 2 covers in a store, I make sure I grabbed them because they won't be there again. That's a super hot cover right now. Now, those are all modern books that I showed you. I was looking in the back bins because there are always great deals to be had there. And lo and behold, Fantastic Four number 66. This is a classic cover. Now, there is a little bit of damage to this book, as you can, I'll show it to you, as you can see, but it's still the Fantastic Four 66. Now, I was able to get this book relatively cheap because I could tell just looking at it, the pages are very, very brittle. I took it out of the bag and board, and I was afraid I was going to break the pages. It's still a great cover, though. So, speaking of great covers, now, while this isn't quite as classic as the other one, Fantastic Four 86 has an extremely awesome Doctor Doom cover on it. Love this cover. Now, this book is in super bad shape, and you won't believe the price I paid for this. I paid $1. And I said to the store owner, I'm like, hey, are you sure this is $1? And he goes, trust me, this one's pretty bad. I looked at it. Again, brittle pages. It probably came from the same collection as this one did, but half of this spine is split. So if I sent this to CGC, this would get a low grade, but it does display very well. I love the Doctor Doom cover. You can't go wrong with sub 100 Fantastic Four. Just super, super dope storylines. You know, great covers. You know, that's kind of what started the whole Marvel universe, if you will. But, you know, it started out with Fantastic Four, number 1. Now, another book that is pretty hot right now, and this is the last one I'm going to show you, is We Live, number 1. This is the 3rd printing of this, you know, extremely good series. Everyone's talking about this, but We Live, number 1, 3rd printing. And, you know, I don't remember 3rd, 2nd, 4th printings ever being a thing until about the last couple years. Hey, but the truth, well, I say 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I'm forgetting about the 8th printing. But that really has started to become a thing where there are some really great art. There is great art coming out and great artists. And it's a great way to, if I say great one more time, stop me. But it is a fantastic way to highlight some good artists, if you will, okay? I didn't want to say that word one more time. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video of what I picked up while I was away on work. I hope it gives you guys some good ideas on what you want to pick up. But if you like the content of this channel, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and please leave a comment. Guys, thank you for watching, and everybody, have a great day.